Kia ora, Friday, 12:30. That means the crew here at Frog Recruitment are getting together to go live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And we're going to be talking about all things jobs, employment in New Zealand. Hi there, my name's Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of Frog Recruitment in New Zealand and People to People in Australia. So thanks for joining us again. Friday afternoon. So we've still got lockdowns going on all over the country, although level 2 is considerably better than level 4. So we're going to actually cross to Wellington today to just see what it's actually like in under level 2. We can sort of can't even remember what it's like in Auckland, and we'll be talking to Kirsty from our Auckland office as well. So we'll go through our regular numbers section. Then we'll cross to Peter in Wellington, then to Kirsty in Auckland, and finally today we'll finish up with our Twitter poll, the results from last week. So we can see your comments live. So I can see that Jacob, the man behind the scenes here. Good afternoon, Jacob. It's good to have you on board again. Has already put up a thank you message, but we can actually see all of the comments on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So if you've got any questions, then please jump in and we'll get to it. So let's get started. Let's start with this week's numbers section. So what we're doing here today with the numbers is we actually had a request from Bianca at Vitaco to actually cover off supply chain management and specifically today. And so if you're out there and you've got some, you'd like some data on particular industry segments in different geographies throughout New Zealand, all you need to do is let us know, and we can get that data. So let's jump into this now. Thanks to Seek Analytics for this data that I'm going to share with you today. And bear with me, I'm going to whiz through a whole bunch of slides here. It's probably hard for you to see at home or on your phone from wherever you're watching. But what we're looking at here is the year-on-year change in the number of advertisements for industry sectors in New Zealand. Yeah, so this is year-on-year. So we're looking at the month of August versus the month of in 21 versus the month of August in 20, and you can see that it's all a sea of blue. Now, if it was red, then it would be going. That means that the number of advertisements has gone backwards, but all sectors are up in New Zealand, and we know that, and our lived experience in terms of the vacancies listed with Frog is so much better than where it was last year. But the sectors that are doing better, information and communications, that's number 1 at the top there. Number 2, and this is important for Bianca, if you're watching now or later, is manufacturing, transport and logistics, which is where that supply chain fits in terms of the SEEK classifications is, and it's the second most improved sector in New Zealand year on year. At the other end of the scale, we've got real estate and property, senior CEO and general management positions, mining and legal are at the bottom there. They're the bottom 4 or 5, not really counting self-employment. So that's year on year. Now, we've been in lockdown for the last month. I think we were chatting about it before we went live. I think we're a bit confused about whether is it week 4, week 3 in Auckland? I don't know. We're sort of losing track of time. Here's month on month. So if you pop that one up for me, Jacob. Now, this is a sea of red. So this is the complete reverse of what we've seen. The exception is banking and financial services. The number of advertisements from last month to this month has improved in New Zealand, which I thought was very, very interesting. And again, Bianca from Vitaco, bottom of the scale now, manufacturing, transport and logistics is the second biggest decline behind trades and services, hospitality and tourism, no real surprises there. Admin and office support and healthcare are the bottom 4. But those who are most resilient are insurance, banking, senior execs, consulting, strategy, sport and recreation at the top. So I thought that was interesting. Now let's dive into a little bit of detail in terms of supply chain in New Zealand. So this is the several different categories that the way SEEK nominate their advertisement. So it's not displayed on the screen here, but what we're looking at here is production planning and scheduling in New Zealand. Yeah. So job ads year on year for this subsector are up 18.56% year on year. But you can see that the job ad views are down 40%. So that's the gap between the supply of candidates and the opportunities that are available. So there are more opportunities available, 18% more, but 40% fewer people are actually taking a look at these advertisements on the platform. So there is a definite candidate shortage for production planning throughout New Zealand. But what about Auckland specifically, which is where the Vitaco office is? If you go to the next one for me, and you can see it there, it's 36%. The job ads are up year on year in Auckland. Job ad views down, not as much as the whole country, but 24%, but still a decline. We then move to another subsector called purchasing and procurement, and this is an amazing number. Number of job ads are up 123% year on year, but the number of people looking at those ads is roughly the same, just down slightly, 1%. So there's a lot more people fishing in that pond, and there's still the same number of fish. So there's definitely a shortage there. And if we then narrow that down to Auckland, and if you go to the next one for me, Jacob, 129.54. So roughly the same, but slightly worse for purchasing and procurement in Auckland. The last one I'd like to share in this is machine operators. Slightly different, but it's still related to that supply chain sector. So machine operators, job ads across New Zealand up nearly 60%. Number of people looking at those job ads down 5%. And if we quickly go to Auckland, and it's much more accentuated, the supply of quality candidates, job ads up 100%. Job ad views down 10% for machine operators. So very interesting. I hope that gives you a bit of insight there, Bianca, and for everybody else that's interested in supply chain or manufacturing, transport, and logistics in New Zealand. If you have your own query, jump online, let us know, and I'll bring it to you here on Frogs on Friday each week. So that's it in terms of the numbers this week. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go down to Peter Cristani, the Managing Director of Capital Recruitment in Wellington. But before we do that, we've got a quick video from our NZ Top Dog competition, one of the winners from last year. So Jacob, if you want to roll that for us.
My name is Claudia, and this is my mobility dog, Ren. Most of her job is helping me with physical tasks, so she can open doors, she can alert people if I need help by barking, she can pick things up if I drop them. Lots of commands, but one of the most sort of helpful things is just being a companion. I was in hospital a year ago, and through that time she stayed on my bed and didn't leave my side for those 5 days. Ren is definitely my best friend. You know, we've been together since 2018, and in those 3 years she's been by my side through a lot of stuff. I'm very grateful to have her. When Ren won Top Dog with a Job, it didn't seem very real at the time. And I was so proud of Ren, you know, that she named Top Dog with a Job, because to me, you know, she is the best. She's changed my life, and I'm so grateful that she's been named Top Dog with a Job of 2020. She's just a good girl. I think Ren's ready to pass on the crown to the next Top Dog with a Job. We're very excited to see who that might be, and yeah, we'll be keeping a close eye on all the very beautiful doggy entries.
well. It seems to be a dog worthy of New Zealand top dog with a job. Hi there, Peter. How's level 2 in Wellington?
It's nice to be back in the office. Nice to be around other people. I've got a dog at home as well, and he's been getting lots of attention. So he's probably feeling a bit of anxiety today, being at home alone. But
So he's not feeling that. Oh, thank God, Peter's gone. It's back to normal again.
Yeah. He's not getting the pets when he wanted to. You often see people and they're doing this on the side in a Zoom meeting because their dogs are there.
So how's the market then in Wellington right now then? And taking account of the changes in lockdown levels and the like.
It's been ticking along really quite nicely. Everything's moved online and we're used to it. A lot of clients and candidates were used to being on Zoom. So in terms of the recruitment processes, that's still ticking along. But the CBD is really dead. We need people to come back in and support some of these local businesses. So hopefully next week we're hearing that people are going to be coming back to work more. We need to be careful with the social distancing, and it's going to be interesting on public transport how that works. But looking forward to more people around. But in terms of recruitment, we're still getting new opportunities. Candidates are being interviewed. We're getting offers. So it's still all working really well now. We're used to it.
So not seen a change at all in terms of the number of vacancies listed with us in Wellington?
No, not really. We've got a pretty good workload at the moment, and it's still, as the figure showed in the logistics and supply chain area, we're still suffering on the lack of candidates and roles here in Wellington as well. So it's endemic across, I think, Australasia, that lack of candidates.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you've got a specific job that you'd like to talk to us about today as well?
Well, if I could just be cheeky and go for 3 quick ones.
That's fine.
So in policy, central government policy, we're looking for contractors, we're looking for permanent senior policy principals. So if you know anyone in central government and policy who's looking for a job, we'd love to hear. Send us an email, give us a call. We've got a contract project manager role came in today. That's 6 months role, working into a non-government sector organisation. And we're also looking for a permanent HR advisor for one of our really good clients. Great working environment. The role's based out in Petone. Really good people. Really good manager to report to, the HR manager. So we'd love to hear anyone that's interested.
Great. All right. And if somebody wanted to, I can see Jacob's put up online there that how to get in touch with you, which is a link to the to your website there, the Capital website.
Yep.
But if somebody, actually, we've just got a question from VJ on Facebook. He says that how much experience in policy does somebody need for these roles?
They're going to need, for policy roles, policy advisor and analyst roles, you need a couple of years experience, seniors 5 to 8, and principals probably 8 to 10 years experience. But sometimes some of the clients will look at someone who, say, moving into a principal role or step up, less so. But look, if you've got some experience in the policy space, we'd love to talk.
Yeah, they should give you a call, isn't it? Like we can let the particular departments know if you've got policy experience, we can work with you to find that opportunity. So if somebody wanted to get in touch, Peter, how do they do it?
Yeah, call 04978 6610 or email me, peter@capitalrecruitment.co.nz. Love to hear from you.
Fantastic. Rightio. Thanks again, Peter, for the Wellington update. Hopefully we'll see you again in a few weeks' time. Let's now go north up to Auckland and increase the lockdown level by a couple of points. And we're going to have a quick chat to Kirsty in Auckland. G'day, Kirsty.
G'day, Mark. How's it going?
Sound very like I'm letting my Australian come out there, don't I? Every time I do that, it's terrible. And I just do it without thinking about it. It's unreal. So, yes. So, how is the market in Auckland right now?
Yeah, no, the market's good. I think it stayed very steady, so we didn't see the drop off of roles that we saw in the first lockdown, and we are just still seeing roles coming through. So I think, as Peter has just been saying, I think everyone's got used to kind of just carrying on with the recruitment process, virtually meeting with them, and also we've been naturally onboarding people virtually, so just getting all of the equipment sent out to them. So I don't think there's been a real kind of impact in some areas. Obviously, your usual ones like, unfortunately, like hospitality and retail have been impacted, but those business like where you're behind a desk or you can do it online, it just seems like everything's going on as normal, basically.
And as we saw in those numbers from logistics and supply chain, there's stuff still moving around all throughout New Zealand. That doesn't change. You can't do that virtually. So there's still roads there. I actually saw Bianca popped a comment up on I think it was LinkedIn. She said, so thanks for the stats. So thanks for watching, Bianca. That's great. What's your view on? Well, you've actually got a role in supply chain, yeah? That you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we've got a couple of roles. So Dean did want to jump on today, but he's actually currently interviewing. So I said I'd take his slot and I'd talk about his position as well.
Too nice.
I know. But yeah, so I've got two positions to talk about. One, is slightly outside of supply chain. So Dean's role is a permanent plumber, gas fitter, drain layer, tutor position. So something a little bit different there. So I think if you are in one of those trades and you're looking to kind of get off the road and you want to get into a bit more of that kind of tutor position, then this could be the role for you. So you don't need to have any kind of tutoring experience, but if you have worked with apprentices before, helping them gain their experience in the trades, that's basically what they're looking for. So if you're a plumber with some sort of experience within gas fitting or drain laying or vice versa, then they'd definitely be interested in talking to you. You do need to have a certification in New Zealand. In terms of where they're based, they are based in Highbrook and they're paying between 90k and 100k per annum.
Okay, great. And I can see that Jacob's put the links up there for those particular roles, specifically for that plumbing tutor. A little bit unusual. It's not out of the box, is it? That particular role, the combination of both plumbing and teaching, I suppose. So.
Yeah, I think to add a bit more of a spanner in the works, they do want spanner in the works. They do want to have.
You're here every week, isn't it?
I know. But yeah, they do want you to have social media experience as well. And that's not just on like Facebook, it is working across the other platforms because they are trying to attract the younger generation into these trades positions. So you do need to be able to use Instagram and maybe even moving into that TikTok space. So yeah, as long as you are able to be able to be on social media platforms as well.
Okay, great. All right. And the role that you're working on? Oh, before we go, Dean's details. Do we have Dean's details at all? No, well, we just leave with the job ads in the comments there. That's fine. But you've got another one, yeah?
Yeah, so another one is working for a medical devices company that we've worked with for a number of years now, and it's helping them out in their kit room. So basically for this role, you're helping get out orders for like surgeons that need particular kits and particular equipment. So it's sorting out and organising that, and you'll also be dealing with the inbound of that too. So it's outbound and inbound of this equipment. In terms of experience, to be honest, it's more around your attitude. So as long as you are quite driven, you're a team player, you want to make a bit of a difference, then that's more what we're looking for. They're based in Mount Wellington and they're paying roughly around about $25 an hour. It is starting immediately and it's just ongoing. So it could be.
So you're starting as a temp and contract.
It's a temp role. Yeah, right. Sorry, this one is a temp position. Yeah. So
somebody started. How quickly will they move? Is it a start on Monday, Tuesday? Is it that sort of
definitely. We need someone ASAP. So they have increased in terms of the orders that are coming through, so they definitely need that helping hand as soon as possible. So yeah, so starting Monday, starting Tuesday, and it'll be ongoing.
Great. All right. So immediate need. So if somebody's watching now and they think I can do that job, or at least I could give that a go, how do they get in touch with you then?
So you can either contact me on 098696255, or my email is on the screen, so you can get in contact with me there. Or you can contact my colleague VJ.
Wow.
He's my VJ.
I think I got nothing. I got nothing on that one.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, great, fantastic. All right, well, thanks, Kirsty. So a couple of really interesting roles there. The immediate need in Mount Wellington. Oh, there we go. VJ's watching. He's just popped up on Facebook there. I am per VJ. There you go. That's yeah, that's fabulous. Rightio. All right. Well, that's we're coming towards the end of the broadcast now. We've obviously got the Twitter poll from last week. Here are last week's results. Do you answer your phone when someone calls? Because there's a lot of jobs where we're calling people and no one's answering the bloody phone. But 40% said, yeah, well, I answered my call. Nearly a third, 31%, said only for friends and family. But I think it was quite profound and a generational shift to see nearly 25 or 1 in 4 people say, no, I prefer to communicate via message, not on the phone. I think that's going to change recruitment practices, or it already is. I know that from our business across Australia and New Zealand. Our ability to get in touch with people is affected by this preference. What about this week? What are we going to do this week? Well, we thought we'd, given that we're in lockdowns and the like, we thought we'd ask this question. Do you know someone who's left the workforce permanently during the pandemic? That's it. They basically said, I'm out. I'm tapping out. I'm done. I'm out of the workforce. Because we're interested, and I'm going to share some numbers next week on the participation rate, on the size of the workforce in New Zealand, and see how that has changed over time and whether the pandemic has influenced this. So let's just ask the Twitterverse, do you know someone who has left the workforce permanently during the pandemic? And we'll see what that answer is next week. Righto. That's it for the week. Thanks again for joining us here on Frogs on Friday. We'll be back same time, 12:30 next week with an update on the employment and jobs market in New Zealand. Thanks for watching.